Hello everyone. Today, I will be just taking you through the McDonald's dataset analysis. And before I explain further, I would really like to thank Shrikant sir, our mentor, who put a lot of effort in making us understand a lot of the concepts really well. And so, let us now begin with the data analysis walkthrough. As we can see here, I have given a lot of importance to the colors and the aesthetics of a business report. One of the main reasons why I feel the report, a lot of attention needs to be paid to the aesthetics and the presentation, is because when any person is reviewing a report, right, it really needs to be presented well, because it helps the insights to go through to the person in a very good manner, right? If it is written well and if it is presented well, it is better than lot of information being presented, lot of information being present, but in a very cluttered manner. The transfer of insight doesn't really happen that much, right? So you would see that I was also learning HTML, right? So a lot of the HTML concepts have been used in the Jupyter notebook as well. As you can see, right, the font colors have been changed, right? And as you can see, these are cells, right, which I have made sure, just for the spacing, right? So let us proceed now. Today I would be talking about the McDonald's data set, right? And the McDonald data set, basically there was the entire nutritional value that each each food which is served in McDonald's has been provided, right? And there is a breakup of the protein, the carbohydrates, the minerals, the sodium, the food, the constituents of the food has been broken down, and that has been provided as the data set, and we have assessed that data set, right? And we'll be inferring a lot of information from this, right? Yes, from this was a great learning project and a competition, right? So there were a few questions to begin with, right? So let us just go through the questions. uh, the first one was, plot graphically which food categories have highest and lowest varieties, right? The second one, we will go through each question in detail as we go on, right? Which all variables have an outlier, which variables have highest correlation, plot them and find the value, which category contributes to maximum percentage of cholesterol in a diet, right? Which item contributes maximum sodium intake, which four food items contain the most amount of saturated fat, right? So one by one we will just go through each of the questions, right? Yes. So beginning with, one of the first things is that before I start with the analysis of the data set, I like to always do a preliminary data analysis, so that I get a good understanding of the data set I am dealing with, right? Because this is necessary for me to have a picture in mind, and then with that picture in reference, I keep going ahead, right? So these are the tools which I have been using: NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib for the graphical plots, Seaborn for colors in the Matplotlib. So here we go, we have the data set here, right? And as we can see, the category of food has been given: breakfast. I'll show you all the other categories as well, right? Then there is item, right? For each category there are different items. Like for breakfast there are certain items, for snacks there are certain items, for other categories there are different items. And as I was talking, I was telling, the serving size, the calories, the fat, the saturated fat, carbohydrates, sugars, protein, all these constituents of the food have also been broken down and given in the data set. Okay. uh, the describe function has been used, right? One of the primary things that we understand from describe function is the mean value, the max value, right? And we try to sort of assess the standard deviation of each category using describe, right? Right. I also have a look at, the number of values, the count is important for me, the mean is important, standard deviation is important. Okay, so for every code which I've used, I have also given the inference. Again, the spacing is something important. I have used a break line, then I have colored inference in a particular way. That again is a little bit bold. As you can see, I have used only two hashes, and for the rest of the lines which are coming under inference, I have used three hashes, so the font size are smaller, right? Again, describe is within. I would not say that those are not quotes; those are tildes. I've used the tilde function, and that gives a different look to this word, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a little bit a different look for describe, so I went for tilde, right? All this I was able to incorporate because I had like a basic level understanding of HTML, and I was very very surprised to incorporate it. I was not very I didn't know that that we could use HTML, basic HTML concepts here, and when I was able to use it and bring a lot of color and difference here, I was really happy with how the report was going on, right? So this is how the final look comes, right? Again, there is a lot of spacing between other, see, like I have, there is a spacing between the table inference, then again there is a lot of there are spacing here, and then we go to info, right? Info again tells us about the data types, int, object, float, right? uh, then we have inference of the info function. I would make this, I'm making this a shorter, this is the a short version of the um, McDonald's dataset analysis walkthrough. There would be a longer version. This is just for the just a walkthrough, like an highlight, right? So this is the shape function. We get the rows. I also wanted to understand if there are any non-number values, any null values in the dataset which are present. So as we can see, none, right? And I really wanted to put McDonald's in yellow color. It is a bit, wait, I will just make it more visible right now. Right, it is more visible. I actually use a filter, that's why. Okay, so yeah, now we have the okay, the entire McDonald's data set, right? So now one of the first questions they asked is they wanted to know more about the categories, right? And I was telling you before, we have coffee and tea, breakfast, smoothies and shakes, chicken and fish, beverages, beef and pork, snacks and slides, desserts, salads. And within each category, right, there are food offerings like coffee, tea. There are like 95 food items in McDonald's that are available within the coffee and tea category, right? So we just wanted to assess that, right? So in total there are about 9 categories, right? Which are just present above. There is an inference of all of that, right? Yes, now we wanted to understand the items, next column, right? So as we can see, the different items, right? McDonald's item count, so you can see here. And the how many items are present in total for all the categories there are 260, then there is an inference of the same. And also, like, I just wanted to, I found, I had, while I was preparing this report, I actually discovered that you can put a line as well. So I have put a line here, so you can just see, yeah, there are like three asterisks, right? So yeah, you can put 3 stars. It works with 3 stars and 4 stars as well. So I have put here, and you can see that, that there is a break line, there is a font color inference, then again a break line, then there are the sentences, again 2 break lines, and then finally there is a line. Reason for doing this is because a well presented report always makes a very good impact, and it is always delightful for any reviewer later on to review the report, right? It's easy for them to grasp all the insights quickly. Okay, simple sentences, not too much of cluttering, right? Lot of visuals, right? Here we go with the first question. Plot graphically which food categories have highest and lowest varieties, right? So we have a specific figure size. We have chosen the first column, and then we plot all the categories within the first column. And I really hope that you can see this. I think it, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think it's visible now. Breakfast, beef and pork, chicken and fish, snacks and slides, desserts, beverages, and coffee and tea, with the highest number of different types of food items being offered, right? With by coffee and tea. So you can see that's the highest. From the graph, let us try to understand. Okay, the lowest is salads, right? Salads has the lowest number of food items being offered, right? So from the question we get to know coffee and tea has the highest, salads has the lowest, right? Inference, right? So we have the inference here. The next question, let us proceed to which all variables have an outlier, right? So let us, okay, so we did a describe to understand, which are actually, I use a describe here to actually, this is a bit like, I just didn't want to select every column. I knew describe uses only the numerical columns within the entire data set, right? It selects which are the numerical column, and I had to manually kind of select the columns to do an outlier analysis, and I had to select only the numerical columns, right? But if describe was already doing that for me, I just wanted to take the help of describe function to so I actually did a little bit of sneaky thing here and use the describe function for that. So that is what is here. And describe, I've actually mentioned it as well, right? And then let us proceed one by one. Okay, so I just want to give you an understanding of what is happening here. um, Okay, so this is the complete data set, right? They wanted to understand which what which protein, which food constituents like calories, total fat, like we are finding outliers in the food constituents columns, right? So there are calories, there are calories from fat, there are saturated. These are all numerical columns, right? And these are all constituents of the food which is being offered at McDonald's, right? And we are trying to understand which foods, which food constituents have outlier in them, right? So, right, calories from fat has outliers, saturated fat does not have an outlier. Again, there is an inference. Very, I just wanted to make it very very simple, very very clear. You can see very nicely, again the asterisks have been used to give dots, right? And okay, right, columns which have outlier, column which does not have an outlier from the above graph, right? Then again we have a set of graphs, the saturated fat, that this cholesterol have outliers. Okay, so this is the this is we have used box plot analysis to understand the outliers, right? Next question: which variables have highest correlation? Plot them and find out the values, right? So for depicting the variables with highest correlations, I will be selecting the variable pair which has highest correlation value of at least 50% and higher, right? So there is a lot of every person has their own perspective as to which pair to select and what percentage to use, right, for the correlation analysis, right? Some people say that a correlation above 30% is higher, a correlation above 50% is higher, correlation above 70% is higher, right? So as per studies and all that analysis, I have, for this particular data set, right, as per the need, what I have figured is anything which has 50% and more, right, that was selected by me, right? Anything which has 50% or more correlation, I would be highlighting that, right? So I've mentioned the percentage of correlation, and here we go, we do the correlation analysis, right, using the dot core function. Then we print the correlation values. It is much more better to have visualizations, right? So the plot figure has a particular size, and I have plotted the entire visualization as well using the heat map visualization of correlation. And we can see all the uh, columns here, all the columns here, the correlation is happening here. After a lot of I had to see this multiple times. The entire inference has been very cleanly presented right down, right? List of variables which have correlation with each other: calories and iron. The correlation is, there is a correlation, and there is an I have put in the box the number, the percentage, right, of correlation that they share. It is out of 0 to 1, right? 0 low correlation, 1 high correlation. It is also -1, right? So 1 and -1 are the maximum values, right? 0 is low value. If it is close to 0, it has less correlation. Close to 1 or -1, it has high positive or negative correlation. So with respect to every single with respect to calories, total fat, saturated fat, cholesterol, every single particular column, whatever is the correlation and the percentage has been mentioned above, right? And one of the important things that I've written right here is, above list helps us to understand food nutrition in a better way. And by understanding correlation between food constituents like protein, iron, calcium, vitamin, etc., we can plan better as to what food to eat and what is necessary for our diet goals, right? We are all progressing towards very very what planned way of eating and consuming food, right? So if we understand correlation, that this is correlated with that, that is correlated with this, we can plan in a better way, right? As to okay, these foods we are consuming, what is going inside our body, right? The better we plan, there is a better possibility of being more healthy, right? So, right. Which category, we go to the next question, which category contributes to the maximum percentage of cholesterol in our diet? So this is something which a lot of us would find very, very important, right? So we have done an understanding. Okay. So before understanding, going to which category gives the maximum cholesterol contribution, I wanted to very nicely present, right, the categories itself. Okay, see the categories, then go after which category out of these categories is the highest contributor, right? I just didn't want to just give one answer. I rather wanted to make it much more inferable, right? So it is always better to give an context and then present the insight, so that there is a value in the offering of the insight. So I presented all the categories here, nicely numbered, and nicely, you know uh, these are the categories presented. Then for each of the categories, what is the cholesterol percentage has been presented in a nice way. And you can see that the highest is breakfast, right? And let us see which is the lowest. Beverages have the lowest contribution of cholesterol. So be careful, right? I would say, if people have certain issues, I would rather say them that if you're going for breakfast, the suggestion would be that, be careful as to what you select. Plan your food so that you can be healthy, right? And here is the inferences, right? Which item contributes to maximum sodium intake? This again is a question. This again helps us to again plan in a better way and eat, right? So, okay. This again I have actually showed that there are 260 items that are present under all the categories, right? And I've written it down. And here is a very list. I could not actually list down all the 260 items, but just to give a context, I have listed down the first 16 items, as you can see here, right? And so that a reviewer gets an understanding that yes, I am presenting food items, and this insight is in relation to food items. And then, just a small list. Okay, that see, this is what I'm talking about, right? So that is available here. And we have the winner, that chicken McNuggets has the highest sodium content in it. And for the list, and in our list right now, right here, uh, bacon, egg and cheese bagel with egg whites seems to have the lowest with 1480. So we have written the inference here. Now, which four food items contains the most amount of saturated fat, right? So we have actually done the sorting, right, out of the same within the same column, which is food items. We are still talking about food items, and in the food items, the item which has the highest, the winner is McFlurry with M&Ms candies medium, which has about 20, okay, of saturated fat we have, right? And so thank you for being a part of this walkthrough of the McDonald's dataset analysis report. And uh, this was I really wanted to present it. And it's really happy for me that people reviewed this and found this report really nice, and I was able to win the great learning McDonald's dataset analysis competition. So thank you again to Shrikant sir and my teammates who have constantly been nice support, Priya, Sridevi, Ruben, Stephen, and everyone in the team has supported a lot. So thank you everyone, and have a nice day.